Hello everyone, welcome to the Global NEXUS Network, and today we are going to be reacting to a very important video. I came across this video a while ago, and I think it's something that is very interesting. It brings to light a certain very crucial conversation about something happening in China that I think that we in Ghana can relate to, can shed more light on our attitude towards, extreme work culture. So let's get into it. Let's watch the very first clip.
Tamping means that I cannot actually move up the ladder. I just try to save myself by minimizing my social activity and economic activities.
Okay, so
this is a very relatable video.
yeah.
And the first time I saw this particular video, I was like, wow, because China has always been a reference country when it comes to the idea of work hard, be innovative, do this, be industrious, do this. So when I saw this particular video, and it has to do with the Chinese government and a more of a journey to the bottom of the economic ladder, I was like, this is serious.
Yeah. One of the things is that we don't know much about some of the ins and outs of the Chinese economy because, it's a communist government. Right?
That's true.
So a lot of the things that are going on within the country, are hidden from us. But in the first clip, as we just saw, talks about Tang, right? It's a Chinese term used to mean that the youth in that country are not really seeing their lives going anywhere. They don't feel like they are progressing, right? With
the current way of working, or understanding of working, understanding of hard work.
Yeah, they are putting in all of the effort, but they are tankping, meaning that they don't see any upward mobility. Economically, they are not really doing well, so therefore they will just prefer not to put in any effort. They do as much as they can do. And it really subverts the way we think about Chinese work culture.
Exactly. And one thing that makes this view very relatable is that, you see, it's more of I've given up.
Yeah.
The system now, or the culture now about work that says that work hard, wake up at 8, wake up at 6, get to work, be busy, get yourself doing something.
Yeah.
Meet your target. This is your target. Meet it and come back. It says that this style is not for me.
Yeah.
And I can't continue any longer. You see that if you actually go to places like Circle or Kaneshi or busy streets in Accra, you actually find a lot of people on the street. Some people, they've just found for themselves a corner that they sleep there.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you look at them, you could clearly see that these people are not mad people.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of what this time period is describing. I've just given up.
Yeah.
I know I can't afford a decent living.
Yeah.
I know the system in place right now, it doesn't go my way.
Yeah.
I cannot afford this. They are simply normal. When you talk to them, they talk nicely, they understand things, and when they're hungry, they knows it. When they are ill, they knows it. It's just a matter of this time period we are watching.
Yeah.
That I can't continue. The system is simply not for me.
Yeah.
And this is what is also happening in China, not in Ghana here.
Yeah.
And just like the fact, that's why we don't see it that way, but it is.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, like whenever you have conversations about the progress of Africa and Ghana in particular, because this is where we live, people tend to talk about how if only we could be more like China, if only we could work hard towards. But this shows that style is not very sustainable.
Exactly, that's what I was even about to say. That style is not the way out.
They have taken on way more than they can handle. The youth are overworked. Exactly. And this shows that you cannot build a sustainable economy.
Yeah.
The way the older generation kind of talks about these things, and our leaders should be doing these things. You cannot have a sustainable economy where people don't feel like their work is leading to direct enjoyment of life.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
They are working, but they are not seeing much progress in their lives.
Yeah.
And in the Chinese culture too, there is this stigma about not being seen as hardworking.
Yeah, exactly.
So the same thing. The reason why I feel this video is very relatable is because the same thing is happening here in the communication, right? We tell people that they should overwork themselves, they should exhaust themselves.
Yeah.
People saying you should sleep less hours. In fact, it's one of the things that I really have a problem with about sleep 4 or 5 hours a day. It's like you need enough rest. Not that you should be bedridden all the time, but you need enough rest.
I don't think that particular statement, it depends on how you take it.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Because it looked like if anybody would tell you, any sort of person would tell you that, oh, I take a lot of time sleeping, or I take a lot of time resting my mind to be able to. As a level that these people are telling you this, what happened to when they had just $1,000 to start a business? What about the time that they had, let's say, less than $100,000 to start a business, or 100,000 Ghana to start a business? Certainly, these people will not be sleeping. Certainly, these people will not even think whether they will need time to rest their mind to be able to do more, or they just have to wake up and go and do more. So this is how I see this. I see like this statement is valid, but it's usually taken wrongly.
I think that when people say some of the youth sleep too much, right? Too much is the I think the underlined thing here. If you let your sleep exceed what you need enough to feel well rested, then sure, that should be criticized.
Exactly.
But the idea of being work, we are looking at China as probably the second largest, most powerful economy in the world, and the youth over there. And this is not something trivial for the people that are watching. This is not something small. This is not like a few young people. This is an entire movement that the government of China is really seeing it as a problem. There's a second clip about something else related to Tang called BAI, and I want you guys to watch the second clip.
BAI basically say no to system. I will not cooperate. I even don't bother to listening to you. I just have my own style. Then I have my own antisocial behavior. This is something I think should worry Chinese leadership much more. BAI means that I would not like to try my best. I will just try my worst. So in general, it's a race to bottom culture in China. It's a part of rebellion. It's a part of say no to the government.
Okay, so BAI, let's like the first one Tang meaning that I'm not going to even try because I don't see any benefit to working hard. I don't see progress correlated to hard work, right? The BAI is an even worse thing, which means let it rot. BAI literally means that because I do not see any benefit to my hard work, I am even going to rebel against the system. In fact, I'm going to work against the system.
Exactly.
And this is something that, as a people, we should be careful of. You do not. The last thing you want is for people in the economy to start sabotaging it and working against it. When we look at China, we think China is all about togetherness and coming together and working hard. But this is, something very, very bad to see.
First saying something that the government has already taken interest,
yeah,
and is trying to fight it off.
Yeah,
fight it off. You see, these are things that I think it has to do with the youth, and I would say people born like the 1980s downwards, because of the readily accessibility of information, and also the fact that we easily get to know what happened elsewhere, and people that have made it or have $1 million in their account.
Yeah.
We think about it and how money gets into the account. It has nowhere near close the idea of wake up 6, wake up 7, or wake up 8, get to work and come at 5 or come at. It has nowhere near like that. So it easily for anybody to say that no, because I have seen people who work harder than myself.
Yeah.
And they don't get anywhere that. So what's the point of? So after I have found out that the system is just not for me, I cannot do any longer. I've given up. If I'm forced, if I'm pushed like we are seeing in China, what is going to happen is that because I'm being pushed and then I cannot say I've given up, I'll try my best. And I think that is exactly what the BAI means. I'm going to try my best. If in my team, there's not going to be anything like coordination between myself and the team.
Yeah.
If I'm alone.
In fact, according to the professor in the video, he was even saying that it's not just I'll try my best. I will actually try my worst.
Try my worst, actually.
Right? I will do everything because if I'm not seeing any benefit to the work I'm doing, then I'll go ahead to even not put in all of my
do anything at all.
Positive energy, right? And it's one of the things that I think for Africa going into the next couple of years we should really be thinking about. because in one of our previous videos, we talked about brain drain. I hope
exactly.
For those that have not watched the video, please go into our video section, and then there's a previous video we did about brain drain. There are people in the country that are already leaving the country to go and look for opportunities in Europe or in the West, right? And the people that don't get that opportunity to leave, some of these people, out of frustration, you see them rebelling against the system. Last year we saw a lot of demonstration and all that. People already have frustration with the system because whenever they try to make one step forward, they get taken 2 steps back. And some of this frustration, we look at everything as if, well, it won't get that bad, but things have a tendency to happen if we do not pay attention to it. We should stop we should stay away from the mentality of, well, this is happening somewhere else. It's not going to happen
Exactly. Because you already see traces of that here. And people start businesses and then employ people, and then they have no idea of what these intentions these people have.
Yeah.
And then they realize tomorrow the business is just not going on.
Yeah.
And some of these things account for some of these things.
Yeah.
You get it? But it's just that some of these things, if your attentions are not drawn on them, it's hardly only on your own thing that this is something that could hurt the economy, or even this is something that even exists in your economy.
Yeah, we see negative things like this happening in South Africa and Nigeria and all that. And in parts of even Ghana. Like,
I think this particular video,
the frustration of young people.
Is it which I think it's American media that actually started drawing attention over this.
Yes, the Chinese government was really trying to control, the information. They didn't want people to know that this was going on.
Exactly.
Because, as I said, as a communist government, the Chinese government always has a priority of trying to present China in a way to the outside world that looks favorable. But the people are overworked, and there is very little progress in the interpersonal lives of the people. China's economy will always, it's another conversation on its own. But we're not talking about the economical progress of China, if that's what you're thinking. We're talking about the young people feeling like they have a place, they have opportunities to, make money, to take care of their themselves and actually have ambition.
Exactly.
And so when that is not happening, then people not only slack, but they also start to work against the system.
Yeah. And I think going forward, these are things that you wouldn't see if you're a business owner or if you are highly integrated into the economy, as in you are part of the process that move resources in and out of the economy. More of you are part of the economy, let me put it that way, whether you are being a business person or whether you being a regulator or whatever. I think these are the things that it will not come to you directly, because nobody will come and tell you that I will do my worst. And nobody will come and tell you that I've given up.
Yeah.
There are people in life who have already given up economically or given up with regard to progress, but they will still turn in their CV and they will still apply for jobs.
Yeah.
So I think going forward, these are the things you will not hear, or it will not just get to you unless you find it.
Yeah.
So if you have a business, or maybe you're a regulator, or you find yourself within the economic sphere, whatever your business is, don't just fall for the status quo. Don't just fall flat and say that this is the tradition, this is the ideology. Wake up, says, for my work. For Ghana here, we work from 8 to 6. We work for 8 to 5 days. I don't think it should be your plan. The first thing you need to do is understand your business nature and the kind of people that you think will thrive in your business, that will make your business grow. Their attitude, what is their interest. So if your business is the type that employs usually the youth, just know your business and how it is being played and how it can be made to suit the attitude towards work of your major employees. So if your business kind of employ, let's say, older generation, you should know their attitude towards work, their understanding of what is hard work before you begin to draft your long job description. Else, just like I said earlier on, it's not something that will come to you easily, or you can even easily be aware that it's within the economy. Trust me, it's within our economy. Unless you pay attention, unless you watch some of these reactions, you wouldn't know. And then by the time you realize, your lifetime investment into a particular business has to go down the drain.
Yeah, if there's anything to be said before we conclude, I just want to say that like I said, we as part of the youth, you know, we sometimes get some of our opinions and some of our suggestions about things get brushed aside. Whenever you talk about working in a place where you are passionate about what you do, people tend to tell you that no, you should do what is functional. You should do what will make you the most money. And that makes sense to a point. This is what we are seeing in China. It makes sense to a point. But where people do not have passion in what they do, when we don't have creative work to be done, when people are not enjoying what they do, they tend to hate their job and end up actually working against the system. If you've enjoyed this video, thank you very much. Please remember to click on the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please let us know in the comment section what it is like where you are, the work culture, your place of employment. What is the work culture like? How do you feel about the work culture? Do you feel like you're making progress? You know, this is going on in China. I'm pretty sure that this is also going on a personal level in your life. Let us know in the comment section how you feel about things. Have you ever made any steps to try and be in a workspace that rather feels more productive, and your efforts, your creative efforts are, you know, appreciated. Thank you very much for watching this video. This is the Global NEXUS Network, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.